Welcome back to the Fall Podcast. Today is another Friday in the books, and it is another coffee call, episode 51 to be exact. And today, I thought we could do like a spring cleanup kind of deal where we talk about, what we're doing right now and what we're gearing up to be doing. We're in March right now, and turkey season is going to be starting here within a month for me and for you.
Yep.
And it's just trying to get everything ready for, deer season as well. I mean, there's a lot of things coming up with, frost seeding, food plots, still shed hunting, and, gearing up for turkey season. So I figured this would be a cool one to talk about and, spend a little time on and just kind of have a little BS, honestly.
Yeah, it's a nice rainy day for a BS session and just thinking about the things we're looking forward to. And,
yeah.
I don't know, man, I know you got all your projects are pretty well wrapped up for now. Got some frost seeding to do yet, I bet, but I'm not in that boat, I guess. I don't have property to maintain, so I'm just on the lookout for turkeys and trying to find some time to get my dang truck cleaned out, because that still hasn't happened since deer season ended.
I tell you what, man, I did that 2 weekends ago. The first time since deer season, I went through my truck, and I am OCD when it comes to that kind of stuff. And we had like warmer weather come through like 2 Saturdays ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and just give it a detailed job. I spent like 2 hours on it, and man, it just feels really good to get a clean truck back, and it makes you kind of want to drive it again. You know what I mean? Like, it's like nice to have a clean truck, clean floorboards, a good smell back in there, and just kind of regroup, really.
Yeah, I think I found a couple dirty socks in there still from deer season, so I mean, it doesn't smell too great at the moment, but I don't know, dog hair, I don't know. That's another thing from the spring for me. I got a thing in the mail today from the vet. My dog's due for vaccination updates, and I don't know, just doing things to pass the time until I can start hunting something again, really.
Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of thing I've been, thinking about. And, you and I have kind of talked about it before. We like to turkey hunt a lot, but, we like to turkey hunt when turkey season comes here. I don't think about turkeys until about now. The weather's starting to change. You're starting to see them out in the fields a little more. And I'm starting to get that itch a little bit, but there's a lot of things to do for whitetail season still. I went through and did some hinge cutting a couple weeks ago, and I got every tree down this year that I had, a goal to get down and do hinge cutting with now. Now I just kind of got to go in and do some detail work. So what I'm going to do now is open up some trails, get some, make some edge, within the 1 acre, and really get those deer to, manipulate them basically where I want them to be. And that's my main focus. Still running cameras just because, I mean, there's really not a lot of bucks holding at all. I mean, if any at all, really. And I'm just trying to gather any sort of intel of like bedding, where deer are bedding, where they're feeding right now, and, kind of what the herd looks like. And I don't know, I just like running cameras still. It's something to keep your mind on, and, something to go do every once in a while as well. Just go get out in the fresh air because you've been cooped up in the house, and just go out and do a walk and go check the cameras. So, I got tree stands still hanging in trees from, last year. Usually I take them down every year and I'll rehang them or at least loosen the straps. So I'm really dropped the ball on that, but I really need to get those down, and I'm going to move some of them. And, I think it was the last podcast you and I talked, I have a new game plan, what I want to do this year. And I kind of briefly talked about how I'm going to set up some box blinds and to be able to hunt the 1 acre just because of the lack of trees to get into. And, I can still hunt it with getting in a box blind I can shoot a bow out of. So I'm going to do that, and to kind of, paint a picture over audio. Like I've said before, the 1 acre timber, it's a triangle. So where the northwest corner meets the east-west fence row, it kind of makes a little pinch right there. So I'm going to have a box blind on that corner, and I'm going to be hunting all the deer that are going to be coming in and out of the 1 acre into the ag field. And then my hot spot, I think, which is going to be like it would be the south corner. And that is like a big pinch point. Like that connects me to the neighbor, and the neighbor on the neighbors going through the middle of this warm season grass field is a basically it's kind of a low area in the field. It's where both of the fields kind of connect, but it's like all autumn olives, and it's like thick through there, and it runs east and west, but that connects the neighbors to me. So deer are traveling. That's their travel, so they can still be in cover. So I'm going to, and it just so happens the pinch happens on my property. So that's where I'm going to be sticking it out right there. And that the biggest thing is for me is access. I gotta come across a wide open field to get to it. So, I don't want to go into the 1 acre. I'm not going to have any stands in there. I say that now. I might have one in there. I might put one in there just for like a rut hunt where you get in early, mid-morning and hunt it all day, and you're hoping for something to come through like throughout the day. That would be what that stands for. But access is going to be huge for me, and just trying to get in there and not spook anything out of there. I think my plan with this box blind and this pinch stand, I'm almost positive for the way that I've hinge cut around there and made barriers, that I can get into these stands and still be within 30 to 40 yards of the 1 acre timber, and I can get in there without spooking any deer out of there with the right wind. So I'm excited about that, and just kind of feeling it out, keep hunting it, keep learning, man. I mean, that's my biggest take going forward here, in the next couple months, is try to hone in on those and get those stands up and get them moved and get them dialed, so the deer start getting used to seeing the ladder sticks and seeing, that kind of stuff. I'm kind of a stickler about that. So I don't know. What about you?
Gee, is that all?
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're talking about all this stuff on a piece of property. You can literally shoot from one side to the other.
I know, but it's fun. See, I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a challenge.
It's different for sure. I mean, you're going to have success there. I know you will. It's just a matter of getting them to stop there for long enough to give you a shot.
Yeah, I agree.
As far for me, I actually started the process today to get qualified for an urban zone in Iowa next year. So I'm gonna work on that, and it's gonna afford me another archery tag, good for the whole season, which is actually going to start September 15th. So I'll get to hunt for 2.5 weeks before the regular season opens, and it'll be right in downtown Des Moines.
That's awesome. I always thought urban hunting would be so cool.
Yeah, I've never done it. I mean, it's just there's so many tags. Like, I mean, I don't mean so many, like a limited number. I mean, there is a limited number of tags, but it's surprisingly a large number of tags that they give out. So
really,
it is like an earn a buck thing. You have to go to these certain archery shops, and I don't know what they call it. It's like validate or certify or whatever. I don't know. Like police officers have to certify like every year or 2 years or whatever with their firearm. The city wants you to certify yourself, knowing, just to give them the peace of mind that they know you can hit what you're aiming at and that you know what the hell you're doing. I got to fill out an application to be in the program. I got to pick a certain zone I want to hunt within, like a specific township. And then if I'm approved for it, I have to go do the test, and I got to put like 10 arrows in in the 8 ring of a target at 25 yards. And it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just a process like anything else, but like I said, it'll get me a second bow tag next year that'll allow me to start hunting in September. So the potential of shooting a velvet buck is there.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and it's like you and I were talking, before we started recording. I mean, I live right in downtown Des Moines, so it's an hour to get to any piece of public land. It's all city parks, and that's where they're giving these permits for the urban zones. But to hunt regular public ground, I got to go at least an hour one direction. So it's kind of a chore just to get out and hunt for me. And this will be nice to have it in my backyard, until I want to put the time in or the effort like closer to the rut to justify the expense and the time of driving down there, And I mean, I've got a lot going on this year. I'm going to be hunting for 2 Cabela shows this year, and I've got multiple tags, applications in for tags out west, and I actually just bought a bear tag for the spring. So I got turkey hunting coming up for the Cabela's series. I got all my stuff's going on the Cabela's whitetail season this coming year instead of Midwest Whitetail. And set all those Western tags that I'm waiting to get results on. So, and I got a new bow on the way. So I don't know. I got a lot of stuff to do, I guess.
Jeez,
now
you're
that
like
I'm
a
talking
kid in a
about
candy
it.
store, man.
Well, yeah, it seems that way right now, but I think it's going to come at the cost of a lot of sleep in a few months, and
Right.
probably a bunch of new gear that I'm going to have to invest in.
There you go.
So I made a deal with Cabela's to where I'm gonna do all my turkey hunting this year with a bow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take a gun anywhere. I'm gonna use a bow on all of it. So
Yep.
I'm doing some research. I'm gonna try to build some head chopper off and arrows.
Guillotines. Are you gonna roll with the
Yeah.
guillotine?
I'm gonna try it, man. Like I got a camera that'll roll 120, and who knows, if I do halfway decent, I may rent something and try to get some 240, some really cool slow-mo shots of
Yep.
just those big heavy arrows. And I don't know, turkeys in slow-mo are always cool. Anything in slow-mo is really cool.
It is. Yeah, and you and I kind of talked about it before, just BSing together. And last year was the first year I shot a turkey with a shotgun since, like, I don't know, 2008 or 9. Because ever since then, I mean, I shot a lot of birds with a gun growing up. Never shot one with a bow. Well, around that time, I was like, I'm going to start shooting with a bow. And I went on a stretch of like 8 or 9 years in a row. I shot them all with a bow. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get the shotgun back out. And last year, I shot 2 birds with a shotgun, one in Missouri and one here in Michigan. And it was a lot of fun. But now I'm ready to get the bow back out. And I do understand, like, turkeys were made to be shot in the face with a gun. Like
absolutely.
that. I mean, 100%. I'm not knocking that at all. But this year, I want to shoot it with a bow if I can. I'm not saying I won't take a gun, but I would like to try to shoot one with a bow without a blind, just like Fred Bear style, behind a deadfall or a tree, and just, really try to do that and get it on camera as well, like, for the show, for Rival, and really do that. And that's kind of one of my goals for turkey season this year, is I just want to do that. I've shot all of them in a blind, so it was always either a roost hunt in the morning or a midday hunt, setting up on them, getting them to strike up, set the blind up really quick and kill them that way. But this is, I want to go straight Cherokee. I want to freaking on the ground, nothing, nothing unless it's a deadfall and just roll with it.
When does your season start?
Mine starts
April?
The 22nd of April, I believe it is this year. I believe it's the 22nd. It's right there.
I may have to make a trip up there then if you want to go Cherokee, and I'm going Choctaw, and we'll just give it a weekend and let's do it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm all for that. Like, we should.
You know any good camera guys?
I know a couple camera guys. I don't know if any of them are worth a shit, but I know a couple. We should do that though. That'd be a good deal. Bring Allie with you too, and we can hang out for a long weekend and go kill some turkeys. The thing is I don't know what it is for non-resident as far as what the seasons are. I don't know if they're the same as a resident. Like, so the first season you can get like the first week, and you have to apply for the first 2 weeks of season. So like you can get a 2-week long first season, but you have to apply, and I never apply for it. I usually honestly only do like our late hunt, and it's the whole month of May. So I usually always do that one. I've had really good success with it, and I might do that one this year. I'm going to try to stagger it with what tags Chris and Casey get, because we try not to like overload one season. We want to stagger it so we can all keep hunting, and at least somebody's always got a tag, but we'll figure it out. We should do that. Look into it and get. I don't even know what a non-resident turkey tag is, honestly, but come up here and kill some birds, man. And you were talking about bear hunting, and one of my goals, for the last 15 years was to kill a Michigan bear, and I've got 11 preference points saved up for a Michigan bear.
Wow.
And I think this year, if I can go in September, if we depending on drop, the status of drop, if I'm going to produce it, we'll figure that out. But if I'm not and I'm going to be around here, I'm going to go pull a bear tag for like the UP public land, and I really want to go kill a bear with my bow.
Are there good numbers up there?
I haven't really looked into it, but I know a couple guys. Adam Miller of the Bowhunter Chronicles podcast over here in the western side of Michigan. They have a deer camp up in the UP, and I was talking to him the other day, and he said that they've got a lot of bear up there, and they've got over 200 acres of private land, and it's all surrounded by public land, and so the biggest thing is like just trying to keep it baited. I think the rule is you can only bait 2 weeks before the season opens, like start baiting. So it's just trying to, keep that bait consistent and being able to get up there. I mean, that's a drive. I mean, that's like a 7-hour drive from here, to get up there one way. So,
and fall bears are tough, man. They're not as hungry and they're not as anxious as those spring bears are. I mean, I've been to Saskatchewan for a spring bear and a fall bear, and it was easily 10-1, spring over fall as far as the number of bears we saw. It was incredible, the difference.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not the rut in the fall like it is. I don't know. I guess I can't really say what I would attribute that to, because I mean they're trying to put on fat going into the winter. Meanwhile, in the spring, they're trying to, they're eating everything in sight because they're just coming out. But then it's the rut, so it's like, I don't know. I don't know a lot about bears. I've hunted them a few times, and I don't know. I think it'd be a cool hunt in Montana too. It's an over-the-counter rifle tag. So,
heck yeah, man. I mean, I just want a bear rug, and I want a Michigan bear rug. That's all I want. I know.
I shot one in New York a few years ago, and like down in the Appalachian area, and with my bow, and I don't know. I just never really. It's one of those things, and I mean, maybe. I hope you shoot one because I'm curious to see what your reaction to it would be. I didn't have a desire to shoot another one. Like, they have such personalities, and they're so just keen and cautious, and like you can almost read their mind. It's
really.
Like, that's how I felt. I don't know. I felt like really connected to it. It's not like a deer to me. I don't know. I feel like the deer I have to outsmart. I feel like a bear you got to be on the same page. Like, you have to understand and like be in sync. A deer you want to be one step ahead of. I feel like a bear you got to be step for step, right along.
Right.
It's a different, I don't know, it was just different for me. It's one of those things where it's like, yep, did it. Didn't really get out of it what I thought I would, and I don't know if I would even shoot another one, but
and that's a good question, or good question, because I'm feeling the same way. I've never been on a bear hunt. I've never filmed a bear hunt. It's one of the only big game animals, here in North America that haven't been able to go on. I've been able to film a lot of animals and hunt a few as well, but a bear hunt I've never been able to have a bear within, bow range to get whatever feeling it is. And that's what a lot of people say too. Like just what you said, it's like I kind of get mixed emotions from people. Like, they'd be like, I really love it. Like, I love bear hunting. I want to go shoot some more. And then you get the guys like you just said. It's like, well, I don't really have a desire to do it anymore. I did it once. It was cool, but it was like, it's whatever, And you never really get that happy medium. And honestly, it leans more towards the people like what you just said is like, well, I just, it's whatever kind of thing.
I think I feel the same way about it. Like when you hear people talking about the way they feel when they like encounter a wolf, like you make eye contact and you can almost just know what each other is thinking. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just different. It's the same feeling I get when I look at a horse. Like, I don't trust a horse. I feel like a horse knows exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I hate that. Like,
I agree.
The bear's the same way, and it's like, as soon as you make eye contact, it's like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, are we good? Are we not good? Or like, are we gonna fight? What's up? Like,
yep.
It's just different, man. It's nothing like a deer hunt.
Well, cats are the same way too. Like even a house cat. Like I can't trust a house cat. I mean, they look so fluffy and and cute and everything, and the next thing you know, the thing's ripping your face off. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
It's not fun for me.
So,
see,
I don't want to sound contradictory because I just bought an over-the-counter rifle tag, but I mean that's for me. It's kind of a scouting mission too. I'm anticipating drawing an elk tag out there this year, and I just kind of want to go see the country and kind of get a feel for what I'm getting into. And if I happen to see a bear, I'm going to get to decide what I want to do, and at least I have the tag in my pocket. It was like $300. Not that that's not a lot of money, but it was worth it to me to be able to have the option, at least if I wanted to, and walk around with a full pack and a rifle, while I'm looking for elk sign and trying to figure out how to hunt an elk for the first time. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do if I see one, to be honest with you. Just depends.
Yeah,
how
I'd
I
be
feel.
interested to see what your take is on it again if you were able to get on another bear. Actually, I totally lied to you and everybody listening. I have been on a bear hunt. I've been on a grizzly bear hunt. What am I thinking?
Yeah, you're right. In Alaska.
In Alaska, and it was one of the best trips of my life. Well, it was a great trip. Let's just leave it at that. But
Yeah,
I
know the
totally
story.
just lied to everybody. Really sorry for that. I just fact-checked myself. No, that was a sweet hunt, though, and I got to see some really big grizzly bears. And, I got to film one dying, and I got to walk up to it and see how big these animals are and how majestic they were. But I will tell you, now that I have come back to reality and really remembered what the hell I've been doing the last couple of years. When we were on that stalk, when we got within rifle range, there was 2 bears there and they were sleeping. Okay, they were like sleeping, and we were trying to get them up. And once the bear heard us and kind of like looked at us, it reminded me of a human in a bear suit. It was just kind of like, what the hell's down there, And at one moment I'm like, God, thing's pretty cute, like, like do we really want to do this kind of thing? But then it was like, I kind of snapped back to reality, and I'm like, it's a grizzly bear. That thing can rip me apart and kill me, and it's within 100 yards, So
Yeah. See, that's what I like about it. It's like a buddy of mine texted me today and was like, if we don't draw elk tags in Utah this year, we're going to go south and just go for the gusto. And I said, man, you know me, like I'm always in for that crazy shit. Like, and that's what I want, man. Like I said it a few weeks ago about like, I can't wait to encounter my first wolf. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen, where it might be, but like, I'll be on a shoot somewhere and I can't wait to see a wolf.
It's cool. Like I've seen it.
Like if you want to go hunt bears on the ground, with a recurve, I'm your guy. Like, I'll get as close as possible on purpose. Let's do it.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just so cool.
That's another thing too. I can't wait to see what your reaction is with a wolf. I mean, I've seen a couple wolves in the Northwest Territories, and it was really cool. Like they were far enough away to where I didn't feel endangered, but it made the hair stand up on your back. I mean, because these things they're bigger than your average pet. You know what I mean? These things, they're out there to survive, and kill things, to kill, They are the apex predator out there with those grizzly bears, and it's like, man, it was just a really cool experience. It was like one of those ones that you had to pinch me and kind of like, hey, like this really happening kind of thing.
I play a pretty mean game of chicken, and that's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just one of those things that makes me push the boundaries, like knowing what I'm capable of and what I can do in that situation and how to, whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing to do for my physical safety, I don't really know, but I don't know. I'm the guy that always just wants to get as close as possible and push it.
Yep.
And if you come out with some epic footage, then you're all the better.
For sure. And that's what we're going for, the epic footage and the stories, man, the memories. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, let's wrap this baby up. We're 25 minutes in here, and that's why we try to get these coffee calls and keep them shorter. This one was a little different. It wasn't a listener-submitted question. We just wanted to kind of do a BS session about the spring and everything coming up here in the future for us, and just kind of have a little bullshit session. It was pretty cool. So, we don't we don't get to do that a lot, honestly, with our schedules until we sit down on Thursday night. So
yeah, and even then it's usually planned out, like we talk ahead of time and there's like some subject matter, and I don't know, this was a good one just because it was no pressure, I guess, and just kind of just talking.
For sure.
I'm gonna keep you and everybody else updated too on those draw results as they come out here. Montana closes tomorrow, so that won't be till mid-April I find out. But Utah should be coming out soon, and I've got like 6 in for that, so we'll see.
Sweet. I hope you pull all of them, and you have to make a decision. Where am I going to go, and what am I going to do?
Oh, I'll be lucky. I have a good shot at getting one. It's just a general season mule deer.
Yep.
And then I've got 2 limited entries, one for deer, one for elk, and then the rest are all once in a lifetime for mountain goat, bighorn sheep, and bison. So
yep.
Those will be points. I'm not counting on those. I'm not getting my hopes up, I should say.
Yep. Well, cool. Lastly, before we do get off here, though, I do want to mention and throw out our America's Best Bowstrings deal that we got going on right now. If you guys want some new strings and cables, like I said last time, go to americasbestbowstrings.com and customize that string any way you want. And at checkout, type in Fall Podcast to get $10 off orders $99 and more. So go there and buy new cables and strings for this year. Turkey season's coming up. Get them on your bow. And
yeah, they're also going to be featured in Archery Trade magazine. Is that what it is? Archery Trade?
I believe so. I think so.
Yeah, the one you get when you go to ATA and realize you subscribed. Archery Trade. Yeah, they're going to be featured in that next month, the April issue Archery Trade. And, I've actually got some pictures going in there from our kills this year.
Sweet. Yeah, with that, let's sign off here, and you have a good evening, man.
Yeah, you too. We'll talk to you soon.